I just got finished watching Justice League Dark Apokolips War. It's the final film of the Justice League storyline in the DC animated universe. After this, they're going to go and they're going to redo the animated DC universe. So all the animated movies with Justice League in the title, that's all one continuity. We're talking Flashpoint, Throne of Atlantis, War, Death of Superman, Reign of Superman, all those movies, that's all one continuity of DC's Justice League. So Apokolips War is the very end. All those movies were leading up to this one movie when they were going, where they go right to Apokolips to take on Darkseid head on. So that's how the movie starts. We're going to go into a few spoilers here, but man, this movie was rough. It was rated R, and it was rough. We saw some stuff. We saw some things here. So spoiler warning going forward. This is how I do my movie reviews. This is how I go over things that I want to talk about when it goes to movies and TV shows and stuff like that. It's kind of like my little side project of if you will, mine, you know, aside all of the beard care and video games and stuff like that. So this movie opens up with Superman, with the Justice League. You know, John Constantine, he's waking up from sleep. They get together and he's like, all right, we got to jump Darkseid. This is how we're going to do it. They didn't know that. I don't know how he did it because they didn't explain it. But Darkseid was watching them go over their entire plan. So he was more than ready for them for when they came to do attack. So the movie starts off. They haul ass over to Apokolips. Right? They're gonna go mess up Darkseid's day. They're gonna take him out. No. What Darkseid has for them is his parademons mixed with Doomsday DNA. So essentially, they're Doomsday parademons. They're called paradooms. So they all have the strength of Doomsday, which essentially is the strength of Superman. So, and there's a whole army of them. So they start to attack, and then bam, you get hit. 2 years later, the Earth is in ruins. It's not blue anymore. It's green, and not in the good green. There's parademons flying everywhere. Everyone's jacked up. It took a huge L, like the biggest L ever. So you see Superman walk in with Raven from Teen Titans. You know, the girl with the hood and the jewel. Her dad's in there. He's a demon. He wants to take over the Earth. And they try and recruit John Constantine. Constantine's got Etrigan with him. He's that demon that rhymes a lot, but he's drunk. He's all drunk, and he's like kind of depressed. You know, him and John Constantine are at a pub, and they're just drinking. So Superman walks in, and he's got green eyes, and the rest of his eyeball is black, and he's got a green S in his chest. So he goes in there, tries to talk to John Constantine. John wants nothing to do with him. He was like, you failed us. You led us into death and doom and whatever. And all of a sudden, parademons attack. They take care of the parademons. Then the flashback happens where Superman goes over what happened at the attack on Apokolips. Then you see, like, you know, Wonder Woman gets her arm ripped off. Cyborg gets his arms ripped off. Everybody's getting just massacred, like left and right massacred. And the ones that didn't get killed right away were Martian Manhunter, Hawkeye, Starfire, but not Teen Titan Starfire, adult Starfire, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. What he did with Superman was that he injected Superman with liquid kryptonite and then threw him back to Earth to live as a human and watch his world get destroyed and messed up. Shazam got away because Cyborg opened up the boom tube, let him fly away. That's when Darkseid came in, jumped on Cyborg's back, and ripped his arms off. Just ripped them off like that. So it was a very gruesome, bloody battle, and they just took like the biggest L in all comic book history. At least when Thanos did the snap, like, you know, people were just like disintegrated and they went somewhere. But when Darkseid attacked, his army was ripping limbs and just stabbing people through their chests, and it was just awful. And then while the heroes on Apokolips were getting their L, the Teen Titans were getting just mollywopped all up and down all up and down Earth. They were just, oh my goodness. Nightwing got stabbed right through the chest and he got killed. You saw I forgot which one of the heroes, but she was ripped in half and her intestines were laying all over the floor. Yeah, and then Damian Wayne, Robin, he got hit and then got thrown into the water, but he survived, so that was good. And so Superman and Raven's mission was to recruit Damian Wayne to bring back to Apokolips to try to break the brainwashing of Batman, because without Batman, you're not going to beat anybody, because he's master strategist and he's one of the most powerful members of the Justice League. They teleport over to the League of Shadows. That's where Damian Wayne is at. They have a little scuffle. Then finally, they recruit Damian, because he's like, you know what? That's my pops, and it's either I'm going to break his mind control or I'm going to end him. So, like, that's my responsibility as the son. So that's why he goes through with the plan. So they get Damian Wayne. Then they got to go over to Lois Lane, because Lois Lane is negotiating a partnership with the Suicide Squad, which is led by Harley Quinn. In the Suicide Squad, you have Bane, you have Cheetah, you have King Shark, her name is. I think that's her name. You got Black Manta. Who else is in the Suicide Squad? The Boomerang, Captain Boomerang, whatever his name is. Joker's dead. So they just say Joker's dead. They don't show it, but they say he's dead. So their plan is to go to LexCorp, because LexCorp has the only access to a boom tube to get over to Apokolips, because they're going to go over to Apokolips, try to save Batman, and blow the planet up. That is their mission. That's their goal. That's what they want to do. So they devise a plan to disrupt the machinery that Darkseid has sent over to planet Earth to terraform the Earth, essentially to steal the molten magnet from the center of the Earth to fuel Apokolips. I think that's what it was. They didn't really explain it. So that's what he wanted to do. So they get 3 teams together, and they start to attack these machines. In the attack, the heroes are still taking massive L's. The Batwoman and Batgirl, they both die. Shazam finally gets killed. So they're taking L's left and right, but they're getting the job done at the same time. So the whole idea was to distract Darkseid, send his Paradooms over to Earth, emptying Apokolips for the heroes to go in and blow up the planet. Meanwhile, Darkseid is on Oa, and he is whooping the Green Lantern's asses all up and down Oa. The Guardians, any Green Lantern that comes near him, he's killing, he's destroying. He blows up the main Green Lantern battery. He just went in there and was like, this is my world, and just decimated the whole planet. And while he's doing that, the heroes were taking it to Apokolips. They get over to Apokolips. They manage to destroy the machines, bringing the Paradooms over. Swamp Thing, who is Swamp Thing is one of the most powerful creatures in DC Universe, he is with the planet. So as long as the planet's alive, Swamp Thing can live. Although I don't think he lived in this one because he had hit the entire giant machine and wrapped in his tentacles, and he was killing Paradooms left and right. Because I would say Swamp Thing is like one of the strongest creatures in DC Universe. He controls the green, and the green is basically like the plant life and the life of the earth. So that's how strong he is. But he kind of like, I feel like he did die, but I feel like at the same time there's no way he could die unless the entire planet explodes. But he took out a lot of parademons and all that, so he made his last stand. So they're in Apokolips, and the whole time Raven, her dad's in her head, fighting for control of her body, so she can't really sleep, she can't really relax or do anything. She's kind of jacked up the whole movie. So they make their way. They make their way to the front of the Citadel where Darkseid lives, and they're fighting the old Justice League members that are now like half cybernetic under, you know, Darkseid's control or whatever. Constantine just like, he's able to use magic to grab the lasso of truth off of Wonder Woman, and he wraps her in it, and he breaks her hold. He breaks the hold that Darkseid has on her. So finally, we have another freaking powerhouse on our side here to win this fight. So she's able to hold off the other cybernetic Justice League members while they go inside to try and get this core to explode. Then they find Cyborg, who has been integrated into the entire Citadel, so he's stuck to this wall. He can't get out. Superman tries to pull him out, but he can't. So we get Cyborg back, but he's attached to the whole Citadel. So he's like, I can get the Paradooms back to Apokolips, and I can send this planet, and I could destroy this whole planet. I could send it somewhere and trap it. So that's basically what they're gonna do. But then Batman comes in, and Batman just like whoops everyone's ass. He's fighting Damian Wayne, his own son, and he's like, you know, in the past I let you win, but today I'm not gonna let you win. And then he starts beating the shit out of him, like left and right, just taking him down. And then while he's fighting him, Darkseid comes back. Darkseid orders him to kill his son. Something snaps in Batman where he comes back. Darkseid notices. He fires his Omega beams at Batman. Damian Wayne jumps in the path of the beams, just sacrificing, taking that huge L for his father. And then Batman is back. Like, he snapped back, and he's back. We have Batman back now. So while that is happening, once Raven sees that Damian has, you know, essentially bit the dust, she loses all control over her father on the inside. So what happens is that Constantine has this dagger that is made to kill demons, very powerful demons. So he shoots the dagger right at Raven's head, but I think he meant for this to happen, hits the jewel off her head, separating her from her dad. So what that did was that freed her dad. So he basically was like, you're free, but under these conditions. You're under my control, and you can have me as a host. Let's take down Darkseid, and let's call it a day. But the demon was like, he's like, no. So he possesses Superman's body. When he possesses Superman's body, the fire that comes from this demon burns away all the liquid kryptonite. So you now have a Superman, full power Superman, who is being controlled by this really, really powerful old god demon. He's an old god. So you have a god Superman. He's got a flaming S, and the first thing he does is grab John Constantine and snap his neck. He's like, he breaks his fucking neck. So he looks at Darkseid and he's like, new god, eh? And then they start fighting, because he wants Earth. He don't want Darkseid to have Earth, so he's fighting Darkseid. While they are fighting, Lois Lane, Lex Luthor, and the Suicide Squad are at LexCorp, and they're fighting off a whole army of Paradooms. The Paradoom's weaknesses is kryptonite because they have the same DNA as Superman, so they all are equipped with kryptonite weapons. They have kryptonite rifles, they have kryptonite boomerangs, all their respective weaponry, they have it in kryptonite form, which is why they can hold their own against this whole army. So, but the numbers are too much. Bane gets killed. All the other Suicide Squads get killed. The only ones that are left are Lex Luthor, Lois Lane, Harley Quinn, the Shark Lady, and the Boomerang guy. So they hunkered down in a force field area. Eventually, they can't hold back the Paradooms anymore, so they set the building to self-destruct. Lois Lane gets in contact with Batman through Superman's wristwatch, and she's like, you need to project this so Superman can see it. Superman is still possessed by the old god. She puts it on the screen. She's like, I'm sorry that, we can't be together anymore, and because we're about to explode and die. So, like, right then and there, the whole building blows up. Lois Lane, Lex Luthor, Harley Quinn, everybody in the building dies. Superman sees this, and he flips the F out. He forces the demon out of his body, and then I don't know how, but he had his outfit underneath the whole time, because when he expelled the demon out of his body, he was back into the red and blue with the cape and everything, like he was brand spanking new. So he came back, he's super pissed. He immediately goes to fight Darkseid, but Darkseid's like, hold up a minute, let me just seal this old god in real quick. So he uses his eye beams to seal the old god into a glass orb. And then as he finishes doing that, Superman just starts just beating the shit out of Darkseid. They're fighting all over the place. Superman's like, go without me. I'll stay and distract Darkseid because he ain't going to let us go. So then the old guy, Trigon's his name. That's his name. I couldn't remember it for the life of me. Now I remember now that I'm talking about it. He's trapped in the orb. They're like, we need to distract Darkseid. So what do? Let's crack open this orb, set Trigon free, and sick him on Darkseid. So that's what happens. Trigon's like, Superman, get back. I got this. Superman goes back to Batman and crew, and they're like, let's go. They have to leave Cyborg behind because he's integrated into the building. They can't just pull him out. Constantine comes back to life because it just ain't his time yet. They snag Flash because Flash was powering a machine that gave power to the Citadel. So they grabbed him. I forgot about Flash. He's in there. He was running this whole time. The movie he's been running on a treadmill. So they grab him. They all head back to Earth. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Once Raven was separated from her dad, she became full-powered White Raven. She was she's dressed in all white. Her full healing powers were restored. She brings Damian Wayne back to life. So Damian Wayne, Raven, Constantine, who just decided to come back to the living. Well, he was expelled from the afterlife. They were like, it's not your time yet. So they kicked him out. Superman, Flash, Batman, Wonder Woman, all the Cyborg Justice League members, they all got whisked away to Earth. The entire planet of Apokolips got sent through a portal, through a boom tube, to where we don't know. It's gone. So then everybody is just hanging out on the edge of the Titan Tower. Everyone's contemplating like what to do next. Earth is fucked. The core has been depleted by some odd percent. It's either going to burn up or go through eternal winter because the Earth is going to stop spinning. The gravitational forces are all jacked up. The Earth is done. So the only thing that they can do oh, the only thing that can be done is another Flashpoint paradox. So Constantine looks at Flash and is like, you know what you got to do, buddy. Flash looks at everybody, gets in position, bolts. As he hits the horizon, big white light. Another Flashpoint paradox. That's why the next movies that come out for DC Universe, the next animated movies, are gonna look a little different. They're not gonna look the same. They're gonna be a little different. There's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a few things that are gonna be different with the movies coming out in the future. So this is it. That was the end of the Justice League animated universe. I kind of am looking forward to seeing what's next. I believe the next movie is gonna be a Superman movie. I'm just not sure about it yet. Check the movie out. It is a good one. I had a good time watching it. It was well worth the hour and a half. I even watched it a second time. Great movie. Had a lot of fun with it. A lot of shocking things happened when certain superheroes got killed and certain superheroes got maimed and mutilated. I was like, oh, no way. Like, you know, it's crazy to watch. So, yeah. This is how I like to do these reviews, because I don't give you all the information. I kind of give you a little spoiler tidbits here and there, but I kind of just go over it with my head off of memory, and I leave out a lot of details. So you can watch this being spoiled a little bit, and then go watch the movie for the full thing, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, I know what he's talking about. So that'll be it for my review on Justice League Dark Side Apokolips War. That'll be it for my review on Justice League Dark Apokolips War. It was a good movie. I liked it. They went in for the hard R with the gore. So there you go. Not as gory as the Mortal Kombat movie, but for a DC movie, you know, you don't expect to see heroes getting, like, you know, ripped apart and stuff. So especially heroes that you've grown to like, you know, from your childhood. Remember to take care of yourself and each other. Later.